Yeah. Nethro, I didn't really like what we were doing here, so GG, I guess. Hello YouTube, welcome to Fine Day, and today we are going to have a look at the new and reworked Teferi Time Raveler in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by following the classic Azorius control line of play by throwing a bunch of counters at the opponent, wiping the board with the wipe board wipes, and just throwing out a big finisher like Dream Trawler, Teferi of Dominaria, A-Hullbreaker Horror onto the field. Teferi Time Raveler allows us to basically break control mirrors in half, because if we resolve this guy and they can't use their counterspells on our turn, we are in great shape. So yeah, this is where this guy comes in, and he's amazing at doing that. You can also bounce the opponent's creatures. This is relevant in creature matchups, obviously. Draw a card, gain some tempo. And the plus ability allows us to cast a sorcery spell as though they had flash. So this is obviously great with board wipes. We can wipe at the end of the opponent's turn or like in the combat step. But we can also get a time warp at instant speed out or a can't separate sundering. So with this, at the opponent's end step, we can just get an extra turn and bounce something to the hand. And that is just a really backbreaking line of play. Yeah, overall, I hope you enjoy today's deck. If you do, consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and if you don't enjoy, just type in the comments how much you hate it. Let's go. We are ready to play against Nethro, Apex of Death. And yeah, sure. Against Nethro, board wipes are really valuable, and keeping the commander off the board is pretty good, so I can just slow them. Like, this hand looks pretty garbage, right? Admittedly, but like, Nethro is not very fast at killing us, so I just value having the card, like, getting a mulligan here. Like, I have my land drops, that's basically all I want, right? So, yeah. Nethro. Just keep him expensive. Let's see. So yeah, Teferi Time Raveler used to be 3 mana. Like they changed a few things, so they put him to 4 instead of 3 and put his loyalty up to 5 instead of 4, so it's not a straight nerf in that regard, it's a rebalance. But more importantly, they changed his static ability to your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Previously it was your opponents cannot like cast at instant speed, and the big difference there was that they couldn't counter your spells on their turn, because that would still require instant speed interaction, and also the opponent could not, let's see, how do I wanna... The opponent could not cast things like that require specific timings. For example, the 4-mana Chandra, when she upticks, you can exile the top card of the opponent's library, and of your own library, and then you can cast that card, but you have to cast it immediately, and that requires instant speed. Yeah. Nethro, I didn't really like what we were doing here, so GG, I guess. We are ready to play against Edgar Charmed Groom. And sure, some counterspells. Yep. Yeah, this is a very nice hand. Everything I want in this matchup. And we start on Temple. Keep a land on top. Yep. Beautiful. Maybe I shouldn't have kept this specific land on top, because it's not white. That might be problematic in the future. I do need a second white source. But I do have Counterspell, Disallow, Disdainful Stroke, a whole bunch of goodies, so I think I'm fine. Let's see. Swing it with Aristocrat, sure. Drana, we will... I think we disallow that and minus on the Aristocrat. We can't just like let that resolve. I think we just disallow it. Because we're going to do this, Teferi, and minus? We can minus, no, we can, I think plussing is better.
Trust me, I have a plan.
They play their commander, we minus it, bounce it. Bit awkward. I think we will manage it. Whoa. That is Sovereign Imperious Bloodlord. That is a commander. That is a planeswalker, I mean, so that can be problematic. Do we even... Yeah, we want to hit white sources, right?
Might be a bad idea.
Do we play this now, though? Likely not. Solve the equation. We are going to search for... What do we search for? Do you like discover the formula? Sure. Because we play Hall, we keep up Mana Tithe. Dark Ritual? Sure, they play around Mana Tithe. I respect that. I think that was a pretty good play by the opponent, I like it.
We will meet again.
Then... Yep, sure. Yeah, if we shattered this guy, I think we just like discover the formula in the right step, because then they start producing vampire tokens, and I'm not in for that. And currently I have enough life to work with. They're currently playing around Settle the Wreckage, which I do like. Settled Wreckage basically exiles all attacking creatures for 4 mana. So that's why they weren't attacking with this Edgar, because they don't want it to get exiled. If it just dies to a bot wipe, they're fine with it because it eventually returns, right? Would you look at that? Well, that is just nasty. That is nasty. I mean... yeah, we're going to Time Orb? Question mark? We can shatter Time Warp, but do I'm kind of feeling the bounce on the Edgar anyways. Time Warp. Narset. And minus.
I train every day.
Get something into hand.
Keep an open mind.
Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Ooh, that seems great. Yep, another Narset activation maybe.
Meditate and prepare.
I think we just bought mana, right? And we will get that with this, grabbing a land. Yep. We're just like going for pure mana here. It might seem weird, but I think it is somewhat correct. Hotel. And do we curse the Blood Veil? No. Do we keep up Mana Tithe versus Curse of Silence? I think keeping a Mana Tithe or Disdainful Stroke is pretty better here. So what we've done now, we just got a ton of mana. Doomscar is a 2-mana board wipe, and then we can utilize that together with the hero of Dominaria. They swing in for 6 to my face. Kill the Narset, that is fine. I'm currently not under pressure whatsoever. Okay. Much mana do we need? I don't think we need all the mana in the world here, so Shatter. We are Tiff. Yep, sure. We're playing the Teferi. We draw a card.
If you show remorse, I'll show.
Despark, sure.
This is hardly my worst.
So yeah, that was a reason to play the Doomscar here. Because Doomscar would have allowed us to use a counterspell there as well. But oh well. Sure, untap all the lands. So I'm currently thinking if I should play the shark like I have a if I should cycle it or just like play the enchantment. I think just playing the enchantment is great, right?
Join my crusade.
Yep. Sorin the Mirthless, we were getting rid of that for sure. The question is with what? I think a Disdainful Stroke might be better because that allows us to put one more counter on Midnight Clock. And furthermore, like, advance our strategy. Also, Counterspell is a bit more universal. Okay, we're going to use Teferi, bounce the Edgar Markov's Coffin, and then we're putting out the 2-mana Doomscar. Maybe it's better to just play the Search for Azcanta though. No, I need to play the Doomscar here because, like, I need to keep up the counterspell for this Edgar, right? But I need the double blue. For the counterspell. And now we... Sure, Baleful Mastery. Do I care? No, I really don't, I think. Yeah, I don't care. Like, instant speeding a board wipe is fine and all, but totally not necessary. I think I will discard the Curse of Silence here to draw a card, and then maybe the Mana Tithe as well. Yeah, sure, why not? Just draw more cards. Search for Azcanta for sure, right? Yeah. Teferi. You know what? Just play a Shark Typhoon, and then just pass turn. We hold up a counterspell, and if they don't do anything here, then we can just still thirst for discovery. Yep, counterspell. We create a shark to block the Knight of the Ebon Legion as well, which is great. Swings in, we jump, we value our life total. Do we cycle this bluff token? I think so. Because with Thirst, we're digging just super deep into our deck. Okay. Like, we're just, like, flipping Search for Azcanta, like, yeah, all the good stuff, We just need to find one more finisher here, don't we? Okay, let's dig deep. Birth of Meletus. I do like the Mind Stone. I think I just want to ramp in preparation of this, midnight clock happening. Yeah, let's Thirst here. Yep, discard a land. We play the Ardenvale. And just ramp more. Ramp more and more and more. That's exactly what we want to do. Blue. And we pass turn. So yeah, we just want to ramp because being able to play the cards we draw is very important, and we have a million things to do with our mana here. Because we can just like use 4 mana effectively to search for Azcanta, we can use our mana for Castle Ardenvale, for Hall of Storm Giants, right? Like, we can use literally all the mana we get. Let's see, Null Priest, sure. What are you getting back? Does this get... no. I mean, you can't do anything about it anyways, but I'm just still leaving it on the stack. Also, the Midnight Clock is now at the perfect amount of counters. To... oh no, it's missing 1 counter. No, it is at the perfect amount of counters. The question is, do I want to use this board wipe? Because if I don't put a counter at Midnight Clock, I know that I keep the board wipe. But I kind of want to draw a counterspell for this Edgar. No, I will do that eventually anyways, because it's getting a counter on their upkeep red. Yeah. So... blue... we use the mana from the clock. Because... should have done this a bit different to get more blood tokens off the Blood Veil Purveyor. Oh, they surrender. But yeah, we're redrawing. We just like... we're so far ahead here. It just takes some time to kill them, but holy moly, GG. We are ready to play against Marwyn. And Elves probably won't have the nicest time against us. So let's show them why. Okay, Essence Scatter and Jwari Disruption, exactly what I want. Spell Pierce can have some use as well. Yeah, if they were opening with exactly Lana Elves, I would have been in trouble. They have a bunch of play from the top of deck effects. That's why they're playing this Fabled Passage, by the way. I don't necessarily think I would play it, but I'm not sure. It's definitely something that you can think about. Okay, Coldsteel Heart. Let's get Spell Pierced. Glacial Fortress, and then just pass turn. And we are just going to Disruption anything that we can Disruption, which in this case is the commander. This is not the last creature we will see, so Essence Scatter will still have a lot of use here. Okay, do we want to play this as a land? I don't think we need to make that decision now. But I probably, like, if they don't do anything, I'm probably just cycling it away. Consider again, get more lands. Yeah, bunch of things we can do. We do want to counter that. That is very, very important to counter. We have to get rid of the value engines. Now we're kind of out of counters. Interesting. Maybe we just want to play Teferi and plus. Maybe start on Consider and going into Doomscar. Maybe just Doomscar Foretell and then just pass turn and then Essence Scatter and consider if they do nothing. I like the foretelling with the untapped land holding up Essence Scatter plan here. Let's see. Yep. Essence Scatter the Morrowind. Keep that off the board. No thank you, opponent. Ooh, Gates of Isfel. That's pretty good. Yep, now just Teferi. Going to plus here.
Don't worry,
And now I'm feeling quite safe because we can just Doomscar instant speed. We draw off the Gates of Isfel. We're going to plus Teferi and instant speed the Doomscar, which is going to be pretty great. Oh, there's this Pact of Negation as well. And since I have the double draw from Gates, I think I just want to hit my land drops. Because I'm not going to play the 3 mana side here, because I know I'm going to Doomscar probably. And with the Pact of Negation, I don't think there is too much that they can do here. They should swing in at Teferi first, or play land and then swing at Teferi. But they shouldn't play something else here beforehand. Let's see. Yep, swing at Teferi. We will take the damage. Sure. Goes down to 5, that is fine. What do they have? Maybe they were thinking if they want to use the mana from these, from the Song of Release, but probably not. I think I want to consider and see what my options are. I want to, you know, consider my options. Consider the opt. The jokes are getting worse and worse. I think I can just hold off on that Doomscar here. Just super greedy play here, for sure.
Like it.
Because their creatures do get indestructible here, but my Teferi doesn't die. So what ends up happening is I'm just going to play this Blue Sun Zenith. I'm going to draw 4 cards off of that. I think I'm quite happy with that. My Teferi still doesn't die if they don't have a land drop. It doesn't die. Oh no, it has counters, right? Yeah, it has counters. Okay. It's fine. Yep, let's draw 4. Yep. Just refill. Draw a bunch of cards. That is a Wrath of God at instant speed. Ooh. I mean, yeah, I think I want to Wrath before I drop this Dream Taller because the Scoot Swarms are pretty scary. You just straight up don't have enough mana for Gates plus Water Vibe, right? Yeah. That's fine though. That means that we're going to use this Wrath of God to wipe the board because it's a bit more expensive. Scoot Swarms triggering. And we are going to Wrath the board right here. And if they protect the bot with Heroic Intervention, we're just going to Doomscar in response. Nope. Scoot Swarm's gone. Pretty good. Keep Marvin off the board. Although at this point there is an argument to be made to just leave her there. But like if they have just a bunch of pump spells and like a draw spell that draws equal to power, then they can still just instantly win out of nowhere. So I'm not taking these chances.
I've got it.
I'm playing around the line that could potentially kill me. And if I play around all those lines, I'm probably winning. Dream Trawler. Yep. And now I can just sink a bunch of mana into the Midnight Clock. I just swing in with Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler gets massive if I crack the Midnight Clock, right? That's insane. If I don't draw land, I'm probably cracking the gates. Make a land drop from that. Draw another card in the process. Finale for 6. No. Don't want you to finale. Thank you. Okay. I think we will pay for this pact this one time, you know. Bounce the Signet just to draw a card basically. Yep, swing. Another one. And we probably just put 2 counters on Midnight Clock in their end step. Or 1 counter and then just disallow as well. Yep, we don't care. Yep, we don't care. And then just spam the Midnight Clock, tick-tock. Yep, beautiful. Beautiful. We're just drawing so many cards a turn. That's pretty nice. Think... I'm not sure if I'm supposed to crack the gates here. Oh no. Let's just swing it with Dream Trawler first, see what we draw. I think they're likely to... yeah, we're just going to discard a card to that. X-Proof. To just push and damage. Oh, there's a Shock Typhoon, that's pretty great. I think this is a make the biggest shark available play, or just a really big shark. Oh, it doesn't need to be too big. I think 5/5 is enough, because that kills them. Maybe 7/7 is the best choice here. Yeah. Disallow, and then we can still make a 7/7, correct? Yeah, exactly, because a 7/7 would kill them in 2 hits with the Shock Typhoon. And if they swing with the Jaspera Sentinel here... Okay, if they swing with the Jaspera Sentinel here, I think that would have been lethal in the air as well, because we could... Yeah, Dream Trawler was 7 power as well, because we draw 2 of the Gates of Istfel. And yeah, that was basically exactly lethal if they attack with the Sentinel here. GG. We are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And yeah, the rebalanced Teferi Time Raveler is a pretty good commander in Historic Brawl. Truth be told, there is not too much difference in the deck building if you swap Teferi Time Raveler out for Teferi Hero of Dominaria, and maybe even Teferi who slows the sunset. Because like 90-95% of this deck is basically your, you know, standard Azorius control build. But overall, like there are up and downsides, right? If you resolve this in the control mirror, yeah, you're going to win. You're going to win, right? So that is a big upside there. It always kind of depends on the situation, right? Like your commander. Like, for example, if Teferi Hero of Dominaria is the commander and then I just draw cards like Sphinx's Rev, I don't need that much value, right? Because he provides constant value. Whereas Teferi Time Raveler is better in other situations. So, yeah, you can usually swap these commanders around. And Teferi Time Raveler, I mean, is a pretty strong option, right? If you want to build this deck on a budget, what can you cut? What do you need? And it is pretty expensive. Like control decks usually tend to be expensive. But if you do enjoy control, you basically craft these cards, and then it's like a 3-in-1 deal. You can just swap the commanders around, right? And then you can also use these cards in other decks. The thing is, while most of these are quite important to the strategy, you don't need the exact ones, you need cards like them, right? So you need board wipes, but you don't exactly need these board wipes. You want finishers, but you don't exactly need these finishers. You want like draw engines or like big card draw spells, but you don't exactly need these. You want a cheap interaction, but you don't necessarily need these cheap interactive spells. I just think I play these because I think these are the best, right? But you can definitely make some cuts here and there. This deck like if you only say, okay, I have nothing, right? If you have absolutely nothing, I think you should prioritize the board wipes because they allow you to come back into the game. Then 1 or 2 of these finishers, and then maybe a couple of draw engines, and then just cheap things. But overall, from the like crafting quality, like if best bang for your buck, basically, you should probably prioritize things like Swords to Plowshares, or a Counterspell, things that you're going to use a bit more than something like a Blue Sun Zenith, for example, right? So it's a bit of a toss-up. Obviously, mana is also a concern, but in the 2-color control deck, that is a bit slower. Yeah, you don't need that much fixing on a budget. Yeah. This is basically my version of Teferi Time Raveler in Historic Brawl. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.